Indonesia was just a player in the nickel business, but it now controls the global market. This recent Financial Times article provides some fascinating insights. A decade ago, Indonesia had the world's largest nickel reserves, but their nickel was low grade and difficult to process. That began to change in 2020 when Jokowi banned exports of raw nickel. That move attracted Chinese investment and advanced processing technology. Indonesia now dominates 61% of refined nickel supply and is expected to hit 74% by 2028. For context, that's more than OPEC ever controlled of oil. Chinese companies brought both billions of dollars and critical processing technology. Today, over 75% of Indonesia's refined capacity is Chinese controlled. This makes it nearly impossible for Western nickel companies to operate independently in Indonesia. A French businessman operating in the country admitted that it became virtually impossible for Western companies to run profitable nickel operations without China's help. The West wants to reduce reliance on China for critical metals like nickel, but alternative supplies basically don't exist due to low prices. One Australian consultant summed it up by saying, "I really don't think there's anyone that will be able to challenge Indonesia's dominance." Indonesia wants to be the OPEC of nickel, controlling global supply and prices. But if it pushes prices too high, that would allow other countries to kickstart their nickel mining. Basically, other countries have either shut or paused their nickel production until prices increase. Indonesia was relying on an EV boom to exploit its nickel for batteries, but many car makers now have shifted to nickel-free LFP batteries. This shift will impact Indonesia's nickel plan. Most EVs in China use LFP batteries. So, ironically, this means that Chinese companies are producing battery-grade nickel only to sell to Western markets. Indonesia's control of nickel is undeniable, but it faces a delicate balancing act. If it limits supply too aggressively, it risks losing market share to other countries, or just accelerating a shift to nickel-free EV battery technologies. On the other hand, if it overproduces, prices could collapse, undermining its own industry. Many countries are also wary of relying on a single supplier for such a critical resource that could be shut off at any time. But regardless of all that, right now, Indonesia is the king of nickel.